Sage Wanderer here, and I'm wearing someone else's glasses. So, I stayed the weekend at a friend's house, and I guess their glasses were laying on the counter, and my glasses were laying on the counter, and I grabbed the wrong pair. So, I can't see very good. I texted her and I said, I think I ended up with your glasses. Don't worry, you're not going blind. You're just wearing my glasses. So I'm sure she picked hers up thinking they're pretty close. They're similar to what I've been wearing. So I guess that was all me. Unless she picked up my glasses first and I just picked up the only pair on the bar and thought they were mine. But when I went to make this video and put them on, I'm like, these aren't my glasses. Are they? I'm sorry, it tickled me. Hey, I wanted to talk about something because I was thinking about the love of God, and I was thinking about how much I love Jesus and how I set out as a little kid when I heard that song. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me. And, I realized that as a little bitty kid, I was so clinical. I was so analytical. Still am. Almost, I can be kind of calculating. And so, I sat down and I thought, what does that mean? Why did the writer of that song say that they loved Jesus because he first loved them? I'm gonna cry. I'm just warning you. I'm gonna fog up my friend's glasses. Wrong glasses are better than no glasses. But yeah, what does it mean that he loved me first? And then I had to go to John 3:16, even as a little kid. These are the things they teach you. They teach you, oh, how I love Jesus. They teach you John 3:16, They teach you Jesus loves the little children of the world, And so my mind went to, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. And I think I understood the depth of God's love in a way you wouldn't think you could as a little kid. I just connected the dots, And, I came to this, to make this video because I'm so ridiculously blessed right now, and I'm going through what some people would call a lucky streak. And there's no luck in it. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I really don't feel worthy, And I'm just kind of grasping it, why God would choose to bless me. And I started thinking that I've always kind of compared myself to David. There's the warrior side of me. There's the musician side of me. And the Bible describes David as a man after God's own heart. And the fear of God was put in me when I was a kid. I feared God. I did. And I think most sane people sane people of faith, you better fear God. You better respect him, And I think that's where most people make a wrong turn in their faith. They take that fear of God and they try to figure out how not to make God mad. And their whole religious concept, their whole spiritual approach, their whole goal in life is to just not make the big man mad. So let's not do anything that might offend God. And so they get sin fixated. And they get fixated on being sinless and living a sin-free life and how to overcome sin. And you go to church, and if you were an outsider, you wouldn't think it had anything to do with God or Jesus or the love of God or Jesus, because most of the teaching is how to not make God mad and how to avoid hell by the skin of your teeth. And I guess as a little kid, when I sang that song, because he first loved me, and I realized what a love God had for me, I didn't want to figure out how to not make the angry God mad. I wanted to find out how to make the loving God adore me and love me and value me. I wanted him to say about me that Sage is a man after my own heart. I am in a hot pursuit of the love of God. I want God to cherish me. I want to be special to him. I want to impress him. I am not trying to keep from making him mad, because here's something I learned. Something I knew about dads, about fathers. Fathers can get mad at you. They can get so mad at you, you think they're going to kill you. How many of you have been shaking in your boots at the wrath of your father? And what keeps him from just snuffing you out? What keeps him from tossing you off a bridge? He could, my dad was a big, strong man. He could have just pinched my head right off. He was a Marine. What kept him from doing that? Not because I'm so good at not making him mad, as much as I tried. And trust me, I tried hard not to make the old Marine mad, because there was a big price to pay. And if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. But I knew the only reason that I was still breathing, because I was a total screw up as a kid. That's how I felt as a kid, Actually, looking back, I wasn't, but that's how I felt. He was a hard disciplinarian, But I quit trying. I quit trying to be perfect and make it and not break any rules and not make any mistakes, because with the old Marine, no matter how hard I tried, I'd still make a mistake. It's like the harder I tried, the more mistakes I made. And at some point in my life, just trying to survive the butt whoopings, if I'm being real. What's the best way to, I began to realize that if I could make him love me more, that the only reason he didn't kill me is because he loved me. It wasn't because he was scared of the electric chair. The only reason he didn't toss me off a bridge, he'd get so mad he wanted to. But because even that abusive father, that abusive earthly father, I've forgiven him, don't worry. Don't hold him accountable. I've forgiven him. God's forgiven him. He forgave himself. We took care of it. But even that earthly father was bound by the love he had for me. And so my relationship with the old Marine started to turn around when I was about 9 or 10, because I decided I was going to stop trying to be perfect. And I was going to start loving him with my whole heart. And I was going to make him love me, because I was going to be loving, and I was going to be caring, and I was going to be concerned with him. And I'll tell you, David, the man after God's own heart. David wasn't perfect, okay? Sorry for the pause. I'm not going to edit it out. David was not perfect. David was what we would call a sinner, if you want to know the truth. I mean, if you had to put David in a modern Pentecostal charismatic, or especially one from the 1950s or 60s, he couldn't have been called anything but a worldly man. He had affairs. He made mistakes. He had a man killed and stole his wife. He had problems with his own kids. Some of his best friends turned against him. So why did God love David so much? It's because if you know a thing or two about that story and you absorb that man, he loved God. David loved God with his whole heart. And he figured out that little secret that I figured out as a kid. That you're never going to be perfect. And you're never going to stand up to God's standards. We're just humans and we're going to fail. But what you can do is love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And that your love for God is what your grace is based on. It really is. It comes down to, do you love Jesus or not? Do you love him or not? Why am I highly favored and why am I blessed? Because like David, I sing to God with my whole heart. And since I was a little bitty kid, I've wrapped my mind around how much he loved me. And I'm not afraid of hell. Because no matter how much I fail, I know Jesus loves me too much to throw me down the well. He loves me too much to drown me in the river. You got to get that circle of love happening with Jesus. If more churches would preach the love of Jesus, how to love Jesus and how to let yourself be loved by him, and less about how to avoid the wrath of the big scary God, maybe these churches would be a little fuller. Maybe our culture would be a little kinder. Maybe our world would be a little more stable. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. God bless you and God save our republic.